Start that again. So, keyless access. Yeah. All you've got to do, put your hand behind the handle, and that'll just unlock because you've got the sensors behind here. Now, the important one when you're locking the car is you just right where this little bar is right here. With one finger, just press that in. Yep. It's going to close up, and now the car's locked. The key one to watch out for when you're locking the car: make sure you don't put your hand behind the handle and press the button. It'll get confused. It may lock. It may unlock. You never know. Yeah. So, biggest one finger when you're locking, you can run. Okay. Awesome. If you'd like to jump in, we'll get you all seated up. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Obviously, we've got the electric seat adjustments just here. Yep. So, got your forward, back. Yep. You can go from up from the rear, yep, up from the front. Okay. And then, so 14 different ways. Yeah. Best thing's probably to just play around and have a bit of fun there.
Of course, yeah.
Sorry.
This is important and really useful.
No, absolutely. And you've got the memory functions down here as well. So you do have to have the engine running for these memory functions to work. When the engine's running, all you do is hold it for roughly about, they say 5 seconds, I'd say probably close to like 7 or 8. Yep. Really hold it down, and then you just press the number, and that'll save it in that position. You'll hear a little bell that goes off, and that'll keep it safe there. Yep. Nice and easy. So, beautiful. So, as long as the keys are within the sort of sills of the vehicle, it'll start up for you. Now, normally, all you have to do is foot on the brake and hit the start button. Yep. Whilst we're inside, we'll just get the electronics without the lights going, just that way we don't get all the fumes running through the showroom. So we'll just click that here. But normally, you just put foot on the brake, hit the start button, and that'll just roar straight into life for you. Awesome. So, to start with, I'm going to keep going through this menu button here, but when you start getting used to it, you can just use the little shortcuts on the outside here as well if you'd like. Yeah. So, radio, pretty standard for you. We've selected most of the most popular channels here, so you can scroll across, pick whichever channel it may be that you want. For the source, just down the bottom left, AM, FM, and you can play around with even the station lists, everything like that. I won't go too much in the radio because I'm sure you'd be fine there. Now what we will do is we'll also get, if you'd like, your phone connected up.
Yeah. Baba, 1 second, phone up.
Yeah.
You don't have to put the
Beautiful. Yep. And that's the one here. So we'll click yes and pair on your phone, and then if you can allow your contacts to sync through messages. Beautiful. Now you've got Volkswagen systems and you've also got Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. To be honest with you, no one uses Volkswagens. Android Auto kills it. Yeah. So what we'll do, I'll just click that across, and you may have to accept something on your phone just over here in a moment. Contacts have been imported. Awesome. So we'll just continue with the setup here, and everything will pop up on the screen. So what you've got down here is going to be all of the different sort of applications you can use whilst you're driving. So whether it's WhatsApp calls, Messenger calls, Skype, Google Maps, phone, Spotify, all those music apps, everything like that you can just use whilst you're driving. Yep. Pay attention to the road, but it is legal for you to touch that. Can't touch your phone. So nice and easy, pretty handy there. You've also got things like your
assistant,
your Hey Google one, which is going to pop up, and you can ask the car to ask it to do whatever it is you want on your phone, and that should all work. Pretty straightforward as well. Yep. So once again, I won't run you through too much because I'm sure you know how to use your phone, that's literally what it is, just up here.
Can you just show me the navigation? Yeah. So this one. So I just need to search, for example. Oh, it's already got my details.
Yeah. So because this one's actually pulling through from your Google Maps. Oh. Now you do have Volkswagen's navigation, which I can show you in a moment. To be honest with you, most people don't use it because these ones are going to have your live traffic updates, if roads are closed, anything like that. So they're probably a little more helpful. Yep. Most people, the only time they're going to use Volkswagen systems is when they're out in the country, when there's no reception, things like that. Obviously GPS is going to work pretty well in comparison. But yeah, so nice and easy. If you did want to cancel the trip, you can just play around there. Even if you wanted to say search and then hit that little microphone button, you'll be able to ask to go somewhere. So
Okay, that's
pretty easy. Makes it just such a breeze.
yeah.
Awesome. So that is Android Auto and App Connect.
Yeah.
Now, telephone and media, that's Volkswagen systems. Once again, you can use them, to be honest. When you get Android Auto, you're probably never going to use them.
So Android Auto will also connect my phone, or will it only connect the WhatsApp?
Yeah, that'll connect your whole phone to the car.
Okay,
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
And how do I go to Android? This thing?
Yeah, and it's literally
Android
just click it
Auto.
on that little one right there.
Oh, so just to do it. So if when I am in the car,
Yep.
and basically, okay, this touch Android Auto.
Yep.
And then if I want to go to phone, then it will go here. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And that'll bring up your contact lists, favorites, recent calls,
Okay.
everything like that. You've also got that little shortcut where it says app, and that'll bring it back. To
This
there
is the full brightness, or
Yep. So you should be able to
what is it? Oh,
lighten it up just a tiny bit.
Okay.
But that'll be fairly.
Okay.
Especially whilst it's nighttime,
Yeah.
because the car is auto sensing. So when it's nighttime, it won't go as bright, so it doesn't blind you.
Oh yeah. Got it. Yeah.
Awesome. Up here, you've got Volkswagen's navigation system, as we were talking about before.
Yeah.
Look pretty simple to use. Just up on the top left. If you'd like, we can set your home address and
Yeah.
get that all sorted. Space bar's just down here.
Yeah. Oh, it's still easier than I feel BMW's one.
Yeah, I think, look, they've done pretty well with it.
Yeah.
Now, the best thing you can do when you are choosing one as well is use the abbreviation. So just leave it at AV, and that should pop up.
Okay.
Obviously, when the car hasn't been used, it can take a little bit longer. So as it gets a little bit more run-in, it should speed up a little bit more too for us. And what we can do...
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
That's the
Perfect.
one?
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, normally, if you were using Volkswagens, you just hit start and that'll get you going. But you can go to more, hit the star up here, and type in home.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
So, whenever you pop into your navigation system, normally it'll pop up with, it'll go straight to this screen here where it's got the heart, and you can just hit home. So, nice and easy. But that shows you where the discrepancy is, because on Google Maps with the traffic, it was saying about an hour. Here it's saying about 45 minutes. So most people use their
That's okay.
Connect.
I'm gonna
But-
use exactly this one.
Nice and easy. Now you've got vehicle.
Yeah.
So vehicle, what we've got is this one. You've got your sort of long distance fuel datas. You can play around with the digital cockpit through here as well. The most important one is vehicle status. So this one is the car's self-diagnosing feature. If it thinks there's a problem with the car, maybe at the moment it's just telling us that there's a door open, but if it's maybe a tyre is a bit deflated, if it's something more severe like maybe an oil pump's failed or things like that, it's going to come up here and tell you what it is, and that way when you call roadside assistance service, you've got an idea of what's happened to the car. So really helpful there.
Yeah.
You've also got, either using either of these arrows, you come to the tyre pressure monitoring. And once again, obviously we've made sure that the tyres are inflated. What I'd suggest, around that sort of 32, 33 PSI is where it's going to be. That's
All four tires?
All four tyres. That's where pretty much every petrol station's ones are as well. So pretty easy. Once you've finished getting them filled up though, make sure you come in here, hit set and confirm. If you don't do that, every time you get in the car when it's saying your tyres are a bit flat, the alarm's going to keep going off until you come in and hit set and confirm.
So, vehicle.
And then just say if it was at a different one, I'll just pop it there for the moment. But if you want to go to selection,
selection.
Vehicle status.
Oh, sorry.
there you are.
Vehicle status, and then set.
Set, and it might take 1 second. And they haven't been used for a little while. Well, obviously ever. Then it can be a little bit slow.
Yeah.
But yeah, give that just a moment. That should pop up. But yeah, so nice and easy, and that way it won't keep blaring the alarms at you the whole time.
Okay. Isn't it like one-time thing that you set?
Now they've got a nice little picture here for us, but basically you've got your adaptive cruise control, which I'm going to run through in just a moment. You've got your autonomous emergency braking, so that's going to be obviously slamming on the brakes for you if you're looking like you're about to collide with something. Obviously that picks up other vehicles, also picks up pedestrians and cyclists as well.
Yep.
So really helpful, and yeah, can save definitely save a few lives.
Yep.
Now you've also got your lane assist. So lane assist is when you're going over 65 kilometers an hour.
Yep.
And basically if you start veering out of your lane, it's more for the sort of highway, freeway driving. If you start veering out of your lane, the steering wheel is actually going to pull you back in.
Yeah.
So you're going to feel it pull you back in. If you're trying to cut across a few lanes without indicating, you can do it, but you are going to feel that the car is fighting you, going, no, I don't know, but like it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
As soon as you put the indicators on,
Yeah.
you'll breeze past straight away. Yeah, as soon as you put the indicators on, it'll let you breeze past straight away, and you won't have any issues.
Yeah.
So it's just making sure you know what you're doing, and everyone around you knows what you're doing. Beautiful.
So the lane keeping assist.
Yes.
That's also there, right? In this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's that lane assist there.
Okay. How do I set it on, or it automatically?
Automatically on. If you
Okay.
want to turn it off, you'll have to come to settings, lane assist, and you can turn it off from there. But to be honest, we always suggest obviously have all the safety systems on. That'll obviously help out quite a bit. Beautiful. Then coming down here, we've got your sound.
Sorry, one question.
Yep.
So isn't it like I need to, because I've driven Audi, and Audi had like a button to actually activate. I don't have to do anything like that in this one, right?
Activate for the
lane keeping assist.
So no, that like it will be on as standard, but there is a little trick I can show you with the kind of the semi-autonomous driving, which I'll show you in a moment. And that one,
sure.
that one's pretty similar as well, I'd say. Beauty. For the sound system, obviously you can play around with the trebles, mid, bass, all of that. I'd say when you get home, just blast your music, have a bit of fun. And you can also change position. So if you don't have many people in the back of the car, you can pull that up. If it's only ever you, pull it onto your seat and everything will converge right on you. So,
and I can put it like here as well.
And you can put it, if it's just people up the front, same thing, just do that as well. What I'll do, I'll leave it in the middle at the moment, but play around with that, whatever sounds best for you. And then coming across here, now look, you've got air conditioning on the screen here that you can play around with. To be honest with you, not really anyone does, because it's all down here and a lot more user friendly.
Yeah.
But what you can do if you've got, say, kids in the back or that are playing around with their air conditioning, you can lock off the rear. So that's really the only reason I'd say most people will use this screen. Up to you whether you want to. You play around with that. Help over here, that's going to be just like a little digital walkthrough of how to get through some screens, so pretty self-explanatory there. Not too difficult. And the last one is settings. Now really, the only thing that most people are going to do is go time and date. Pardon me. We're set up with GPS at the moment, so as soon as we go back out of daylight savings, that should just come out straight away. To be honest, you shouldn't need to change anything. If you go through different time zones, it should just update automatically.
Automatically?
Yeah,
Nice.
through the GPS. So
my Honda has got, like, every time I look at the time, I need to check sometimes if it's daylight
because
saving.
you're like,
it's always like 1 hour before or 1 hour after.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, that'll just do it for you. It'll be right. It'll be right. Awesome. So that's most of the screen up here. Do you feel pretty confident just in...
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's pretty
Nice and easy. Coming down to the climate control systems. So to start off with, we've got obviously your heated and ventilated seating. So when it's blue, these ones here, that's going to be your ventilated seating, and we can switch off there. And you can also go for your heated seating.
So when you say ventilated, it's got that air con, is it?
It'll actually, have a little bit of cool air coming up out of the seat.
Wow.
So
I didn't even know about
the
this
best,
feature.
the best one about that is probably if you're wearing shorts, going on a drive down to the beach, summer day, normally after a couple of hours, you have to pee yourself out of the leather. This will just be nice and cool, just easy, and should just be that little bit more comfortable.
I honestly didn't know about this feature at all.
No, so pretty handy, and both the front and passenger have those features as well.
Fantastic.
So you can play around with that. Got your defrosters just over here as well. Now, over here, this little stick figure, if you click that one in, that's going to bring up all the different sort of directions of airflow, of where it's going to come out of the vents and everything like that. So once again, pretty self-explanatory. I won't run you through too much.
So just that's the one.
Yeah, and then this one here. So for these buttons, the best thing I can suggest is sliding your finger instead of tapping. but this one's going to be your fan force. So that's going to play around there. And you've also got, obviously, the climate control. So if you slide across, if you do tap, it'll go up by 0.5s, but you can slide your fingers and it's going to make your life a lot easier.
So these two are different, like this one and this one?
Correct. So you might want to be up at 29, and I want to be all the way down at 17.
Oh.
So out of my vents, it's going to be cool. Out of yours, it's going to be hot.
Yeah.
But because you are, like, the driver's always the one in charge, if you want, you can hit sync, and everyone's will go back to yours. So if there's any fights or anything happening, you can click that and it goes back to yours. But I mean, if you touch yours, it'll affect everyone else's.
Yeah.
But no one else's is going to affect yours.
Right.
So that's how it sort of plays around there.
And for the this same settings will apply.
Correct.
As well? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Cool.
So just hit sync there at the moment, down a little bit, but you've also just got the little off button there too.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful. Your two USB-C charging ports down here, and we've got a 12-volt socket. As you saw before, we've also got the wireless phone charging, so it should pop up roughly here, but you can even see down the bottom left that your phone's charging away.
Oh, this is charging my phone.
Wireless phone charger, absolutely.
Wow.
Yep. So
I didn't even know about this one.
to be honest, yeah, you don't need any cables. It'll just chuck it in. The only thing that can affect those is going to be magnets, and if you've got like a really thick case, sometimes that just won't pull through. But apart from that, most people's phones are fine, so they'll all get charging for you. Coming across here, you've got your semi-autonomous parking feature. So if you are wanting to do it, the car is pretty much going to park itself. How you go about it is when the engine's running, obviously you're driving down the street, you click this button in, and you put on the indicator where you've seen that there's a spare car park. Slowly drive past it, and you'll hear a little sort of ding in the cabin, and in your cockpit it's going to say, hey, you're good to park in that space. As soon as you see that, put the car into reverse, and the wheel's going to start turning for you. It's going to steer itself in. You've just got to work the pedals. Now, depends how much you use it, to be honest with you. I'm terrified. It works really well. I'm terrified of it. I don't like it, but other people use it every day. So
Really? Okay.
yeah, absolutely. So it will work for you. If you are going to try it out, I'd always suggest maybe do it in like a little bit
Safe
of a
place.
small, somewhere a little bit less busy, but it will work for you.
Okay.
Yeah. Beautiful. This one here, a little bit pointless of a button, because it'll just bring up the rear view camera with the sensors. Whenever the car's in reverse, it's going to have that instantly anyways. So depends how much you use it, but it's there nonetheless. Parking brake over here. Whenever you're ready to sort of take off, obviously you've got your foot on the brake pedal. Just push that one down, and you're actually going to feel your foot tension up a little bit on that pedal. So you know that the car's brakes or electronic brake is off. And then whenever you're finished up, same thing, but you just sort of pull it up, and you'll feel your brake pedal just detension. So you'll know when it's orange, it means the parking brake is on.
Okay, can I try it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. So you put that in, and if you push that one down when you're heading off, and you just feel that your pedal's sort of tensioned up.
Yep.
So now, whenever obviously the car's ready to in drive, you'll be good to go, and you'll just feel awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. Nice and easy. Auto hold. Now this one is going to be for the car. It's kind of like the most use, I'd say, is going to be a hill start. So it'll store the brake pressure when you come to a complete stop, and then whenever you take off, it should eliminate any sort of rolling backwards. To be honest, most cars aren't going to roll a whole lot, but it really just means you just take off straight away. So if you do want to use it, I know some people are very for and very against. It can be a little bit to get used to, but once you're used to it, it's a pretty handy feature as well. Coming down here is going to be your all-wheel drive systems. So you've got a bit of off-road, snow, off-road expert. To be honest with you, not much of an off-roading car, but if you need to get where you need to go, it should take you. And you can play around with eco, normal, sport, individual.
So when I'm driving, let's say, then I can just choose one of these options, is it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So if you go just back to that little road setting, so yeah, you can play around with these.
Oh, here itself. Okay. So basically, this is like automatic, but I go to settings and then I can choose. Okay. So
Correct.
normal, eco, sport.
Yeah. So like sport will just let the car rev out that little bit more. It's not going to add a ton of power, but the pedal is going to be a little more responsive. It'll let the car rev out a little bit more, and you'll be able to drive around and
Got it.
Yeah, a little bit more sportily. Beauty. Down here we've got your cup holders, so you can just press these little buttons there. Now, whenever you're locking these up, you just sort of rotate it on that circle that you can see that pattern is there. Biggest thing I'd suggest is if something is too large to fit, don't force it. My sister's got a Tiguan. She had one of those real big drink bottles. Didn't understand to put it away and just went smash. Not covered by warranty. So yeah. So honestly, a little bit of common sense and yeah, there won't be any issues there. Put that one across.
When you say not covered by warranty, it's just that
only what's actually happened. Yeah. Also, a little bit of storage down here. Now you can also pull this armrest forward, and you can actually, if you can keep hearing that click sound, you can adjust the height of it. So depending on where your seating position is, you can find the right sort of adjustment. Whenever it will lock in place, whenever you want to drop it, you've got to go all the way up and all the way back down.
Nice.
Beautiful, nice and easy. Now what I might do, because obviously the car hasn't been started up because battery's running a bit low because it hasn't been charged.
Sure.
Beauty. So coming up here on the steering wheel, obviously indicators on the left hand side, wipers are going to be on the right, being the European vehicles. Now whenever you just sort of flash your lights, when you want to flash your high beams, you just pull that towards. When you push it away, if you can see this little icon there, that's your automatic high beams. If you push that further away again, that's going to go blue, and that means that's your manual high beams. So play around with them, see which one you prefer. But yeah, it should be nice and easy.
So there is not like double or single, like single. Okay.
No, correct. So if you did want to, you'll get used to the sort of feel of it, but if you give it just a little bit of a click, it'll give you 3 blinks.
That's it.
And then obviously if you go all the way down, it'll keep going until you actually turn.
When I did the test drive, I figured it out, but it was like a bit.
No. Beauty. And then what we've got
the wipers.
Yes.
That's on the right side.
Yes. So wipers on the right. Now, if you can actually click that up just one position for me. Beautiful. So now they're in rain sensing mode. So to be honest with you, you don't even have to touch the wipers anymore. As soon as it starts raining, they're going to start going off. It'll keep up with the rain as much as it can. And whenever the rain stops and it's nice weather, they're not going to go off. So pretty handy. If you do want to, you can keep clicking them up and they'll start going faster and faster. Beautiful. Now, over on this side of the wheel is your cruise control settings. So, if you can see just down in this little section here, that's going to be your cruise control icon. Now, if you can see that, that's where the odometer is also. So over here, obviously just with the factory testing, we've just got 37 kilometers on the vehicle. If you can see the odometer, it means cruise control is not going to work. So it's just this button on the left here that you click, and now that should stay there until you press it again, really. But all you have to do if you're going 100 k's an hour on the freeway, just hit set down here, and that's going to keep you within a kilometer or two of 100. Even up and down hills, it'll do it all for you.
So if I reach, for example, 90 or 80, and I know that I want to keep that speed, I just have to press set. Yep, absolutely.
Now, being adaptive, if there's a car in front of you that's going, say you're going at 80, car in front of you going 70, it'll eventually register that that car's going slower, and it'll slow you down and match their speed. As soon as they move out of the way or speed up, it'll take you back up to the speed that you set. So nice and easy. But what you can do is using this button in the middle here. So
set the distance between.
Correct.
The car.
And it's just that little bit of road in the middle there. So that's going to be how far you are. That's going to be the closest setting, and then from there on is going to be further and further away. So play around with that. Now what you also can do, we've got your volume controls here for the radio, phone, everything like that. This one here is going to be your travel assist. So that one's that pretty much, I mean, not that I ever recommend it, but I was going down the Monash freeway the other week at the 100, and you can literally just cross your arms and the car just turns itself around the corner. So look, it works really well, but after a couple seconds, it starts screaming at you, hey, put your hands back on the wheel. So don't do that, but it will pretty much drive itself. What you do have to do, you could, as long as you've got a little bit of steering input, even if it's just with one finger, as long as the car can feel you're still in control, you could drive to Sydney with one finger. So pretty handy. And that's for the freeway sort of driving there. Coming over this side is going to be your different sort of views that you can have through here. So you may want things like your assist systems, driving and fuel data, vehicle status, telephone, audio, everything like that. Probably the most popular one, which I might set up for you now though, is going to be your navigation. So you can actually pull Volkswagen system into that cockpit. So it's just using these 3 little bars on the map, show mapping cluster, and that's just going to save it there.
Okay.
Pardon me. So what most people are going to do is actually have their Apple CarPlay, Google Maps, everything on here. But then you've still got Volkswagens up there if you wanted to search up for a few little shortcuts. So what you can do on the navigation part is actually using the up and down arrows, you can zoom in and out of the map. So pretty handy. You can also use the view button and go to a full screen mode.
Oh.
And you can also go to another mode which gives you your fuel data, what's playing at the moment, things like that. So, and you just keep clicking view, it'll go back to that analog. So whichever is the preference there, you can play around with.
Okay, got it.
Awesome. And then obviously you've got just under there, you've got your channel select for next song, next radio station, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Awesome. Coming over to the right side, we've got your automatic headlights.
Yep.
So basically, I'd just suggest don't touch them and you'll never forget to put them on. If you do click that one to the left for me though, you'll actually notice very quickly it will say switch on your lights. So even if it's still fairly light, it's still going to ask you to put them on just to make sure that you haven't forgotten.
Yeah.
So nice and easy there.
So maybe it's like I want to drive on the highway, and I want to keep like there are 2 sets of lights, right? I want to keep just those indicative lights.
Yes. So you got the daytime running lights.
Daytime running lights.
Yeah. So yeah, if you want to adjust those, it's going to be the ones that are highlighted in green.
All right.
So if you want to adjust them, the ones in green. If you want the ones just the headlights, it'll be the next one down to the right. But if you're in auto, most of the time when it's obviously just because we're inside at the moment is why they've got the full headlights on. But it'll be normally just the daytime running lights as long as it's bright enough. And then eventually it'll just switch them on for you.
Okay.
So nice and easy. Central locking system over here. A lot of people just get in straight away, click lock, and that'll lock all the doors.
Okay.
Now, if you don't click that, when you start driving away, once you pass about 15 kilometers an hour, the car's going to lock up for you automatically anyway.
Okay.
So just a nice little bit of extra safety.
Nice.
Coming up to the sunroof, obviously you've got plenty of space here. Now, what you can do is just this sort of button in that channel here is going to open the sunroof all the way back to that sort of halfway point. So you've got tons of fresh air coming to the cab. It's actually fairly quiet for such a big space as well, even going at 100 wood, and that'll close back up for us. Now, if it's a bit of a miserable day like today and you don't know what the weather's going to do and you want a bit of fresh air, if you just click the back of that button up, you can get a little bit of venting, but that way it's not open if it starts raining, things like that. And the other one that you can do is using these buttons here is going to pull across that fabric protector. If it's really heavy sun and you want to just be cool, and you can pull that across and it'll just be more of a conventional sort of roof for you.
Wow.
So pretty handy.
That's awesome.
Seeming like it's a bit too upright.
Okay. So you just like pull it and then it will go down. That's it.
Correct, yeah. So you just give that a pull and that'll pop down.
Yep,
absolutely.
got it.
Now, under either of the outboard seats, there's actually a little bit of metal railing.
Yeah.
The seats actually slide forwards and backwards to give a little bit more space in here. As long as obviously the people in the middle row have a list and engage that rail, so you can get a few people in and out without having to drop the seats.
How do I get the that railing
bar? Yeah. And if you pull that up and then just slide the seat forwards. There we go.
Alright.
Now obviously as it gets a bit more used, it'll get a little bit more oiled in and a little bit
this way. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
No hidden buttons, literally just click it open there and you can actually pop the fuel cap just up here, so after a few years they can get pretty nasty and don't want that on the paint, so it keeps it safe. Now the fuels that we use are the premium fuels, so 95 or 98 octane.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is if for some reason something happens to the engine and there's something with, you've put 91 or E10, warranty are going to go shouldn't be. If you stick to the right fuels, that'll lock up as well for you. So
is it
up? And now you can't get in.
So single To open the car, it's like single touch.
Sorry, to open it, literally just open the handle. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So there's a few ways to open the boot. Obviously you can open it from the button here.
Yep.
You're actually one of the last cars that actually has an electric tailgate as well. So
Oh, is it?
yeah, they've stopped
They
production
stopped-
myself, but you got a nice little swipe under the car.
Oh, you did well.
That'll open up. Well, don't speak too soon. So it'll open up like that.
Yeah.
And the same thing when you're closing it, just give it a nice wide sweep. And if you can hear that beeping sound, it means it's engaged, but it's not going to close until you walk away with the keys. So as soon as you start walking away, that's when it'll close down for you.
Awesome.
Just making sure that if you're not ready for it, it doesn't smack you in the head or anything like that.
It's like your
Awesome,
Yeah, pretty much. So hands are full nicely. Now, when you are closing it and walking away, you'll still have to lock the car.
Yep.
But at least lets you get 30, 40 metres away and then 20, 30 metres away and click the button to lock it up.
Nice.
Also, the rear seat's up at the moment, so definitely smaller capacity for the boot. Most people aren't going to have those back seats up though.
Yeah.
So you can drop these down and you've got a massive boot space here. Right. So plenty of space. Now, what you've also got under here, so I'll just pop this open. This is your privacy blind, so no one knows what's in the boot of your car. All you have to do, these ends are actually spring loaded, so you just pull them in, lift it out and just gently sort of pop it into these little gaps here. Beautiful. Now the important, obviously this is your tool section.
Sure.
So you've got the spare wheel, all this sort of jack, wrenches up there.
Yep.
The most important one on this car is your lock nut.
Okay.
So basically, if you don't have this lock nut, tyres, the wheels aren't coming. So it's made to obviously stop any alloy theft or anything, but what you've got to do is make sure that we don't lose this because it's suited to your Volkswagen and it's a nightmare to get a replacement.
Oh, that's why you were saying it's very important.
Very important. So the biggest thing that I'd suggest if if anyone's coming under the tool section, if anyone is obviously changing the tyre for you, like RACV, roadside assist, anything like that, you make sure at the end of them fixing that up, you are the last person to put that back in its little place. And your side, sorry. Using these little pulleys right here. So they do feel a little flimsy, but if you put your thumb towards the back of it, you can actually pull that down and it'll collapse the seats from the back.
So 3 different ways you can.
There's a lot of ways. There's a lot of ways. Here,
Yeah.
you can actually pull that out.
Yeah.
That becomes a torch.
Oh.
So in case you drop anything or you need to, might be camping, whatever it might be, that'll actually just pop it light again. Very nice. Awesome. Almost doors open or anything like that, then it will be on there as well.
Alright. And what are these things over here?
So that one is for that privacy blind, just to pull over.
Oh, got it.
The one behind it is going to be
Seat belt.
just to sort of hold the seat belts in place. Yeah. Driver's ankles are is just where the bolt releases. So literally right on that pillar, very hard to miss. But I'll let you jump around as well. But just that little.
Just have a quick look.
Just open that up. Beautiful. And this is everything under the bonnet. Now look, you don't have to worry about checking any of the oil levels, anything like that. If it starts running low, it's going to show up on vehicle status. So you don't even have to check it. The only time you should ever need to come under the bonnet and do anything yourself is fill out the washer fluid. So all you have to do is literally just pop that cap open, put tap water, hose water, anything like that, fill it up and now, in regards to the service and warranty, so the warranty is 5 years unlimited kilometre, everything except for your wear and tear. So tyres, everything else. Now, all you've got to do to make sure that is make sure your car is serviced at its inputs, which I'll get to in just a moment, and make sure it's done by a certified technician using Gen. Dealership. If you do go outside, just make sure they are certified by Volkswagen and using the Gen. From there, you servicing, so it's about 15,000 kilometres or 1 year, whichever one comes first. Now, do you think, are you a 5 kilometre driver?
15,000 seems okay.
Roughly about. Well, in that case, Yeah, around that sort of 15,000 all in 1 year. It will pop up if you are more the yearly driver. It'll actually pop up and give you at that sort of 11 months, gives you a 30-day warning to go, hey, put yourself in for a service. And to get the service. And then for our service department,